Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lara and here I upload a lot of bullet journal and creativity related content. Today I want to share with you my May 2021 bullet journal setup. I hope you will enjoy this video and let's get started. For this month I decided on a Professor Layton theme. I don't know how many of you know this game. It was actually quite popular in Germany when I was younger. But I know that it's not as well known in other countries like the US. Well, if you played the series before, I would be very interested in knowing what your favorite game is, so leave a comment down below. I think my favorite Professor Layton game is the Diabolic Box, but I also really like the Lost Future. But for those of you who might not know the game series, I will explain the basic idea real quick. So the two main characters are Professor Layton, a professor of archaeology, and his younger apprentice Luke. In every game there's a big mystery to solve, and on the way to find clues they find a lot of smaller riddles to solve as well. Some of them are just hidden in the scenery and others you have to solve in order to move on with the storyline. They are introduced to some strange people as well, but like a real gentleman is supposed to be, they are always quite polite. I really love this game series since I was in 5th grade or so, and I still find it very calming and relaxing, and honestly, it has an amazing soundtrack as well. I would have loved to use it in this video, but of course it has copyright and so on, so I couldn't do it. But if you want some good music for studying or relaxing, go check out the soundtrack. I use it for studying all the time. And well, let's move on with the actual setup. Here I decided to add the Professor Layton symbol, which is the head with the L in the middle, to the left side of the cover page, and then I wrote May on top of it, so pretty simple. On the left side I created this little drawing of some of the main characters in the game. In the middle I added Luke and the professor, of course, and then I also drew Flora with the roses at the top. She's a girl that starts to tag along after the first game. Then on the upper left I also added the masked gentleman, and he's the antagonist from Professor Layton and the Miracle Mask. Underneath I added Des Cole, who is the major antagonist of the entire series, and at the bottom I added Don Paolo, who appears in a couple of different games. Then next to him on the right, I decided to draw Emmy, who is a journalist who first appears in the 4th game, I think, and then also takes along with the group. And the last character I added is Anthony, one of the major characters from Professor Layton and the Diabolic Box. One thing I actually first noticed when I started drawing the characters myself is that neither of them have any real shading. However, like when I was drawing them, I didn't really like the look of that. So I added some very subtle shading just to give the drawings a little more depth. Once I finished the cover page, which actually took quite a while, I moved on to my monthly log. And for this I decided on a smaller calendar since Germany is still in lockdown, so there's not a lot for us to do. And I won't add a lot to my calendar. For this spread, I decided to go with the town from the first Professor Layton game, which is the Curious Village. There I just added the kind of weird tower of the town and a few more houses to fill out the page. For coloring, I used my Faber-Castell Polychromos, and I was kind of struggling with the colors here. But since the colors of the Polychromos are pretty vibrant and well pigmented, it was really hard to find colors that suited the mood of the game. However, because of that, I just used some gray tones sometimes and layered them on top of the colors, and with that, I think the look turned out pretty good. And next up was my memories page. I already used this kind of setup in my February setup before. There I chose a theme of stars and planets, and I added a lot of gold details to the page. So if you are interested in seeing what it looked like, go ahead and click on the link in the info box. The idea behind the setup is that I write the most memorable things of the day in one of the boxes, and so I can always go back and see what my day was like. And yeah, in some of the boxes I added some pictures that fit the theme, and for this page I decided to go with things from the game Professor Layton and the Lost Future. And I chose this game because it has to do with time travel, so I thought it was perfect for the page. The next spread is my mood tracker, and for this I drew 31 of the Professor Layton hats, and yeah, I kinda underestimated that. It took forever to draw all of them, but I made it and I'm pretty happy with the result. So each day I will now select one of the colors of the legend I added at the bottom of the page, and with this color I will just fill in the space around the head according to my mood of the day. And for each habit I drew a little box, which is supposed to remind of the riddle screens of the game. And here I made a little mistake actually. I added the calendars one line too low, if you know what I mean. Like you will see it in a second. And because of this, the submit button was in the way, so there was no space for me to write out number 30. But well, it's not a big mistake. I can live with that. Moving on, I added my sleep tracker where I simply write down all of the data my watch collects at night. For this page I drew the diabolic box and I like the box, however the page ended up looking kinda empty. So I'm curious to see what it will look like once it gets some more color from filling in the spread. If you are interested in seeing what this page will look like at the end of the month, go ahead and follow me on Instagram, I will share some posts there. And last but not least, we have my finance tracker. For this I drew some hint coins since they were perfect for the setup, and in the bottom right corner I also added a character that appears in every single Professor Layton game, and he explains how things work. For example, how you can collect hint coins. Hint coins are for the riddle, so if you can't think of an answer for the riddle, you can just buy hints with these coins and then hopefully solve the riddle. The spread I divided into 3 different sections, one where I will write down my income, one for my subscriptions, and one for all of the money I spent in other ways. And that's already the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave a like and tell me in the comments below what you chose as your theme for May. With this spread I actually filled up my first bullet journal of the year, so it's time to move into a new one. And my new one will be an Archer and Olive notebook. But before I actually set up my new spreads, I will review the notebook. So if you are interested in hearing about my thoughts of this notebook, hit that subscribe button and activate the bell so you won't miss the video when I upload it at the beginning of May. I hope to see you in my next video again. Have a wonderful week. Bye!